the young people, 14, 15 years old, you all may look at us and think, well, that's them talking, and isolate yourself. That's madness. We have walked through the snow and made a path for you. You shouldn't feel as though, well, that's our parents. That's just them. They're not up to what's really happening. You're going to lose. You're going to talk to your boyfriend, regardless of what mom and dad say. They done went through it now because it's boring to them. It ain't to me. You're going to lose. We are your parents for your guidance and protection until you are properly capable of protecting yourself. And the power of love making, when it comes upon you, you need some parents. You need help to control that power. You need help because Satan talks to you all the time. He'll show you all kinds of ways to engage. And that's one of the things that will put a scar on your thinking, that will make you think that you're not what you should be. You're not the queen or the goddess that you should be. Most of the time, the brothers are not affected that way because they give and they leave. You receive. If he left the right thing with you, it's with you for life. You're supposed to die before it does. So when you come to these teachings or meetings such as this, and I'm speaking about this force or negative this intimately and this thorough, your mind shouldn't be off on one of the brothers or thinking that it shouldn't be that way. You should listen. Because while you don't know, that's when Satan talks to you the hardest. Because you don't know. And when you find out, he hoped to have gotten you in such a trap. It's a hell of a effort and energy you got to expend to get out of it. So he tried to trap you up before you come into knowledge. So going to sleep and taking a nap is, you listen at us, better wake up. If I don't do what I'm doing, one day you're going to be as old as I am. And don't know as much as me. And you're at somebody's mercy. What we're doing, what I'm doing, and what we're doing, we're putting everything at our mercy. It's just that we are merciful people. Merciful people. So whatever and whoever does not receive mercy, they have earned it. They have earned judgment. They've earned it. They've earned it. They've earned it. Don't be a part of that number. And there are certain behaviors that take place after a while. You just will not put up with it. You get to a point you say, well, look, I'm not going to put up with this no more. If I have to put up with this, I'll die first. I just picked up a thought and I wanted to let the young people know. This also applies to all of us. So it's best that you take advantage of this. If we have all this knowledge and we're supposed to share it with our children and make a heaven for you or produce an inheritance for you, be glad and be happy that this is taking place. Because whatever misery you're going through today is already stamped out and wiped out that you won't have to experience it. You see us going through it. But it'd be like us walking through the snow first. We packed it down, so when you walk through it, it's like all you have to do is to walk like you're walking on the regular floor. But somebody packed it down for you. So you shouldn't feel as though you know something we don't know, or what we know don't really help you. You can forget that. You can forget that. I am here, and if it was not me, if it wasn't the time, I wouldn't be here. If it were not the time, I wouldn't be here. And if mother had not already taught you, if I hadn't taught her, she couldn't teach you. And if she hadn't already taught you, I couldn't tell you about this Satan, the negative, and Satan. I couldn't do that. Not that I wouldn't know it. There are many other things I'm going to tell you. But you have to grow to it. And there's quite a few people stealing what they call stealing our knowledge. You have something you wanted to be stolen, I have. Truth, I want it to be stolen. So when you steal it, you say, oh my God, what did I get here? You see? You understand what I'm saying? Well, is there any other thing that I should say or speak to you all about before we depart?
I thought you opening the floor. This isn't, you're not going
to... Oh, you want to do it now?
Well, I personally do because it's on me.
Oh. Well, if you want to do it, go ahead. If the others do, I didn't know if you all wanted to do it one evening or what.
Well, I won't speak for the others. However, since the party that offended me is here, I like to,
offend you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
I get extremely, almost violently ill when I hear someone purposely misquoting or misrepresenting you in an influential way to others. And when I go to share that and they still hold on to it, then I'm speaking about Brother Najee misrepresented what you shared with him to the class, and he would not let go of it to the point where it caused me to just scream to him, get away from me. And don't say nothing to me. And I sent my son to tell him, don't say nothing to me. Don't give me the greetings. If you see me walking on the street, just pass me up. And then I called the service station and he answered the phone, something that rarely happens. So I can't get away from him. So I know that women hold on to negative, and I don't know if this is holding on to negative, but he purposefully misrepresented what you said in a manner to influence the others, and he has not corrected that, and that makes me extremely ill.
Well, since you operating as mother, you really are that. You're not pretending. You know, when a child is disobedient and the mother don't have the strength to actually discipline the child equal to their disobedience, then the mother isolates herself from the child in such a way that it brings an alarming attention to the father. So the father wanted to know, what have you done to my wife? What? You got her all upset and everything. I mean, I can't even kiss her tonight. She's upset. You messing my wife up. That's a defense that the women use, or the mothers use, for the fathers to put their sons or children in check. So, this is another thing that Brother Najee and other brothers like him do, holding on to Satan. They protecting him so tight and so close, because when he's speaking, Satan is speaking to you. Or whoever is questioning him, what he did, why he did it. And with you, it's like, well, I know my father. That's not his language. He may have said what you said, but he had to say something else to go with it. You were leaving something out. And listen, no, that's what he said, blah, blah, blah. Then the anger comes up because it's a lie being told. If I really said it, now this like crushes your sight that I've been expressing to you all along. Has he been keeping a secret from me? He would do something like that? And didn't tell me this? It can't be. So it's more than what meets the eye. Now this isn't just an IG. There's quite a few brothers that's extremely personal. You just holding on Satan, you hiding him, you protecting him. Because he's making you think it's you. But it ain't you. It's him. So what you do, you say that to him and put it into motion just to show him the severity of what he has done. However, you put into something in motion is something that you really cannot make come true. Just for the fact he answered the phone. Mother is always mercy. Or for him to make you get to that point, I got to address it. If not, well then you're carrying a burden that's going to eat you. It's going to get worse and worse and worse until you see that he understands what he did. If he don't understand, well then you will understand that he is out because the Supreme now has came to him. He still held on to it. So he's out now. You don't feel bad. You don't feel one way or the other. It's been settled. So that's what comes up with this. What I told Najee, I don't know what he told you all, concerning having a relationship with someone that used to be with us or that started to come in. I have a right to do things other people don't do because I can see what you don't see. I already know Najee. I know him from his core. I know what's going to make him happy. I know what's not going to make him happy. So to make him go by certain rules that we set up and certain laws that we set up to govern the general population or those that's with us in general, some people that won't apply to. Hope you listen. General laws and rules don't apply to every specific person. So seeing him, I said, well, this is an individual. He don't see MGT and GCC. He sees a woman that would he like to be with. And that's all he sees. He's not going to see it any different. So what I told him, I said, well, listen, what you do is this. You go ahead and you explain to her that you will go move in with her. You're not going to pay a dime or nothing because you ain't got it. You ain't giving her nothing. If she wants to accept you like that for you to come be with her and her not come be with us in the righteous kingdom and you going to go there and under those things, move in. And this way when you leave, you're gone. The brothers know where you're gone. Instead of you sneaking over, they reporting, Najee's not in the bed. Najee's not coming in. He didn't make curfew. So forget that. Go, stay there. And while you're there, if you finally can convince her what is right and she comes on over, then we may look at taking care of everything. We're only going to take care of you and what you need. We're not giving her a dime. If she wants to accept it that way, fine. Now, if you do that, make sure you tell the officials. Make sure you tell Mother. Joseph was already there. I don't know if you heard it or not. What did you hear when I was telling you? Make sure you tell Mother. And I think also the first. So they will know. It ain't that you sneaked off. I told you. That's what I told him. Same as I told Mark. I said, Mark, I don't want you having no sisters in the nation. Go find you a lost found. Go get one. And if you teach and you train and whatnot, she'll be for you. Did you find one? You see, I didn't tell him yesterday. This has been a few months ago, right? Almost a year. I know Mark. I knew if he found one, if he got a sister, that would be the only way he would get one. It would have to be someone that don't know. Because of the way he thinks. Not that he's wrong or right, that's him. Until we do some changes. I don't tell nobody else to do that, and I'm not encouraging you to do that. However, the general law is, we don't accept nobody outside of the nation. The brothers may, if it's really, really necessary, but it's not a good practice. So now what Najee did to offend you in representing me and just move and didn't tell you and didn't let you know, that was a breach of trust. And then to stick to it as though he did right because I said it. He did part of what I said. He didn't do all of it. So that makes it not right. He held on, you see, close to his bosom, protected him. Because he thought he was protecting himself. He only saw what he wanted. Go be with his sister. They live happily ever after. He got something to do. He's working for God. He's working for Father. And he's keeping everything going. But that is not what he's doing. He's working for himself. He's being the fraction in the whole that keeps everything balanced for his own nation. Since he's old enough, he should have a woman. And he's old enough to have one. And since it looks like he's not going to behave in such a way where he's going to get a Muslim woman, go get her. You're supposed to be a man. Don't let her affect you where it's going to take you away from the nation. I don't have no quarrels against that. Go ahead. But we're not going to take care of her, and she don't see it and don't want us. She just wants you. That's all she gets. She get you, not us. Once she accepts the truth, then she has us. She has a whole nation to support her. All of that. You all see what I'm saying? This is real. And mother's not upset at Najee. She's upset with what he did and how he did it. If he would admit his error and be genuine about it, her dislike be gone just that quick. It'd be gone, be like a puff of smoke. It's gone. However, to speak about me, someone that spanked her to make her be right, and I'm going to let him get away, it's like, wait a minute, that's favoritism. How can he do that, but then he wore my bottom out? You see what I'm saying? And if you are thinking in your mind, it's not being told right, they misunderstood, that's still your fault. I told you what to say and who to say it to. If you would have did that, and then if you did it and they come back and told me, and I said, yes, that's what I told him, it's off you. Or if you did 99 and 9/10 of it, and didn't do the other 10, I can't go with you. You all understand? You are not just workers. I don't look at Brother Najee as just a mechanic. He's my friend. He keeps me laughing. Najee to me is comical. That's good. I'm not saying anything less of him. If he's comical and I'm laughing, keeps me in good health. He has his ways about him. However, they're not offensive to a point where it's really going to hurt nobody. If I keep being a lot to him and a friend to him, and he stays around me long enough, he may decide to change his way. Most of his ways just hurts him. He don't hurt nobody else. That's why I still hug him and kiss him and everything. He's not a dangerous person, only to himself. You all understand what I'm saying? So I would strongly encourage Brother Najee or anyone else that has misrepresented me to mother, that you correct that. You heard her say how much she loved me. How can she prove it if she's going to just let you say anything and supposed to believe it? That ain't going to happen. And I've taught her to investigate. So if you say, well, Father says so and so and so and so, what? You shouldn't have said that. She's really going to investigate then. However, if I really said it, and she said, well, I'm going to call Father. She called me up, yeah, baby, I said it. Well, I said it because of so and so and so. Oh, okay, Father, I see. She got it. The person that I told you, I may not have told them why. So she called me, it don't make sense until I told her why. They said, oh, okay. She investigated. I hope you all understand what we're talking about is still what I came out here and talked about. You know, everything is free. Everything is in the open. It's in the open. And you have a personal relationship with me, and it's from in the unseen, and it's only with truth. When you need to call on me in your mind, you call on me to make sure that Satan whispers isn't overtaking you. I got the answer. Because you asked me. It's like my foot is itching, and I'm home by myself. I reach and scratch it. Because it's my foot. my arm is going to sleep because I'm laying on it. I can't feel it. So I feel it with the other arm. I raise myself up to make sure it's not, and I set it straight. I get it right. That's you. When you're hurting, if you're going to sleep and you call out, that's you and me. So I got to comfort you, get you right. I just don't leave you in Satan's hand for him just to do anything to you. It's you that's holding on to Satan. And the more you hold on to him, the more you point at me and say, I'm doing you wrong. I am doing you wrong. If you're blaming mother, that's me. Like I said, I prepared mother and gave it to the messenger. I did that. He didn't prepare. He helped me harden her heart against wrong. But she came from me. She came from me. And the sisters, I don't know who your fathers are. But you cannot be a goddess thinking low of yourself. You can't do that. Just settling for it. If you don't have a man, there's a reason for it. If you go by the way I said, you'll get one. And the reason why we say you have 90 days, especially if you're young, that's for you to talk on the phone. And you understand, well, you don't see it. There's no interference, so you can get into the person's mind. They're talking straight in your ear hole and in your mind. So you can see what's on their mind, how they think. However, when lust has got you, you don't waited so long, you're just looking at it, you're ready. You can't think. That's for you to be open. And if you're being open and you find out everything about everything, and if you see, it don't mean because it's open, you find out you got to accept it. That's why it's open. You find out, well, I won't be able to, that's not going to be good for me. And it's not that you go up and say, well, oh, that sister, man, you leave that alone. It wasn't good for you. As long as you keep these secrets, then you go call yourself getting married, and as the secrets ease out, and then the thrill is gone because you never started right. You never started right. Only force you can hide is Satan. I don't want to be hidden. You see me every day through the sun. Satan comes over and he wants to send some clouds over to block that off, make you feel dreary. But I'm still shining. I want to be seen. I don't want to be hidden. If you all have my light in you, don't hide it under no bushel basket. And if I give you the authority to go do something, all you got to do is start to try it. And if you do it in a balanced manner, you'll be successful. If I say, go get a lost family, go get her. She's waiting. She's waiting. If you haven't got it and you try it, it's something you ain't doing right. Check your method. It's that simple. Satan make it real big. Anybody else have anything to say? Yes, sir.
Father, I love you, Father.
I love you too.
I just had it's a different question. It was on my mind. I just wanted to ask you, why does, how some of us have so much energy and some don't? I just wanted to find out why is that.
Well, most of the time it comes from our thinking and diet. A person that has clear thoughts and they're free, you have a lot of energy because you don't have a lot of negative in you that shorts it out. And if you're eating wrong, if you're eating too much sugar, it robs you from your energy. Physical energy. You got to take a nap. You got to take another hit from the sugar. You always got to be doing something. However, if you're free from that and you're drinking good, clean water, if you're taking a fructose and you're drinking good, clean water, and you're thinking right, all that clears up. It'll clear up. You get the energy. You get so much energy. It's almost like you hate to see night come because you got everybody going to sleep and you sitting up looking.
Yes, sir.
You know, so that's what most of the time is from our thinking and our diet. Outside of that, there's hardly anything else.
Because I experienced that energy because I always say that Father put it in me. Father put it in me, and it's just that I'm ready every day. I'm just ready to go. And I see, I bear witness that I can see others with no energy at all, and I'm just wondering why. Why have energy?
Mainly from their thoughts. From you. Well, people can look at you and see that you have a love for truth. You identified as Father, but you're really glad that you have found this. And just that fact alone look like in you, it's got you with energy. Now you found it. You want to really partake of it. You want to feel it. You want to get in. That's where you look. And that's where you're saying. That's where you must be. However, if the rest of them, if they thought that way, and they let you know, when you see that perfect one, and they say, well, look, you can see me tonight at 8. And if it's 12 o'clock in the day, man, you get all kind of energy. And at 8 o'clock, you're right there, knocking on the door. Because that's what you wanted. So if it's in your mind, that's what you want. You get the energy to do it. I know plenty of times I've been on the road driving, and according to why I'm going, where I'm going, will determine if I'm going to make it without stopping. If it's some old routine drag thing, I may stop. If they go to see you, go see Brother Abbas, go to see, come here, and they waiting on something, I'll be so fired up, I get here, bam. It's like, I'm almost sorry I got here, because I had more fun getting here. I got all this energy, and when I get here, it's like, I got the energy. Yeah, I'm here, but what am I doing? I better go take a nap. But the thinking has a lot to do with it.
Okay, thank you. And in being able to put it in the right, direction, or put it in the right
practice.
Yeah, practice. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's a balanced reward. In other words, to be able to have the energy. And then you're working in construction, right?
Yes, sir.
You're hitting it now?
Yes, sir.
Well, see, while you're doing that, and you can actually see what your energy is producing. Things are being transformed. It's coming up, and it'll be looking like you, nice and shiny and healthy looking. You see that, and the people that's coming out from out of town, the people that is in town, they see it, and you can say, well, I had a part to do with that. It justifies you having that energy, so it makes you want to get up in the morning. You're ready to go. And you see other brothers when they don't see it that way. That's why I'm saying, any of you all that is not experiencing what this brother is experiencing, it's because you don't see what you're doing is yours. It belongs to you. And what belongs to you is the right for you to set up a structure and a system for the black man and woman to actually, and anyone else that want to be right, to actually practice right. That's what you're really setting up. You're setting up a system for them to do that. And when they come and give all this thanks to the United Nations of Islam, it ain't a building, it's a person or people. So when they look at y'all, you can say, well, I feel good because they talk about me. I can justify me being here in life. I'm doing something that's making people feel good and be good.
Yes, sir. And not only having experienced having the energy, however, I want to do right with the energy. That's why I find myself a lot of times with the energy. However, I want to do right and not get in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because a lot of times I have energy and my words I cannot explain the way I want to. However, I want to do right all the time.
Yes, sir.
See, I want to do right and not get in trouble.
Okay. Yes, sir. Well, okay. I've heard everything I've heard about you up until now. You've been doing just that. And if you keep it up, by you doing that in the presence of others, they may kick in and pick up on the same type of energy.
Yes.
Because it's fun.
Yes.
Even when you work and you get tired, the tiredness still lets you know that you have accomplished something. And it gives you the right to lay down and rest. It gives you the right to eat a good meal. It gives you the right to do it. Not you doing it because it's time to do it. You may eat. You may take a fine car and go someplace, whatnot. Because you can. But in your mind, you really don't deserve it. Because you ain't did nothing for it. However, when you work and it's done right, whatever you do, the rightness of what you did solidifies what you're receiving. A good meal. I really deserve it because and you lay down a nice soft bed, it's clean for you, whatnot, I deserve it because I worked hard, it's good, you know. You feel good?
And also, I just would ask you that you keep giving me and us as a body, the whole body, giving us the power, the will, the knowledge, understanding, wisdom, everything. So, as a nation, we can become as the way we see it or the way you see it.
Yes,
so grow and be one.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'll honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Sound good.
Walaikum salam. Well, I would suggest that you all get this tape today if you don't get anything but the part about Satan and negative. Because that most certainly will help you be a better person. This is something no one else is teaching. They're teaching how to crack an atom, but they're not teaching this. And this is what you need. The people that's learning how to crack an atom, when you learn this, you will rule them. Because they have to crack the atom for you. And anytime you want to stop them, you can stop them. But they can never stop you because they can never get to a point beyond where you are. They can't go back far enough and they can't go ahead of you far enough to get beyond you. Every place they stop, you're already there. You see what I'm saying? So you can control people because they're operating in your sphere, not you and theirs. White people don't teach this. They may know it. However, they can't even do it. So that puts you still a power over them. That's what makes us successful in taking the nation and making a righteous nation or kingdom. And the sisters, this thing about you all always being frightened of mother, her saying things or doing things, you should let that go. Forget about fear. That's another thing that Satan uses. Forget being afraid. You just be concerned about learning what is right and just do it. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's all. Don't go and try to please mother. Forget trying to please her. You just try to be balanced in what's right. I'm not saying disrespect her. Naturally, you give the respect because everybody's supposed to respect their mother, whether she's good or bad. Just as she was there first and fed you. Whether it's good food or bad food, it kept you alive. So you respect her on that part. However, what mother has fed you has been perfect food. So that alone should make you honor her. However, you don't do things to please her, because that will be pleasing a person, and Satan most certainly will take that and use it against you. Because in your mind, he'll make you think you did all this, and then she got the nerve to reprimand me. She just overlooked it, didn't even appreciate it. He'll talk a whole bunch of foolishness to you and make you start to take a dislike to your mother, and then you get in trouble with your father. So what you do, if it's something mother says, if it's displeasing, just find out, what happened? Why did so and so? That won't happen again, mother. Then don't let it happen. And she may say, well, we'll see. Because, she had more than one child. You're speaking for yourself. And when she said, well, we'll see, she's speaking from a behavior that people do. You're saying that. But another person just before you had said it, and they messed up again, just before you came to say it. So she's dealing with all of the children. You're dealing with one mother. One mother, ain't but one mother, but it's many of you. So you got to understand how things are done. Satan will always make you look at it in a way that's going to bring you back to nothing. Or make you think mother's just not right. I mean, mother should have helped. She should have said so and so. She should? I don't think so. When you know from the day on, if you listen to this tape, how to arrest this rascal. I have given this city to 3 people. I know it's going to take a little time for them to actually take it because they got to do some soul searching of their own. And if I gave it to them, I don't tell lies. And it could be they don't take it, but I at least gave it to them. And there's one person that, I'm pretty fond of, and that's Brother Wingman. I know he got a lot of problems in his own thinking, even from a son that he had. However, when I heard that he wasn't coming to the home, to the messenger's home, it kind of bothered me a little bit. So he got to learn how to deal with himself and stop holding and protecting other than self. Everything is open. I know I call Mother's home sometime, or the messenger's home, and she tell me, well, we're having so-and-so and so over for dinner. It'd be different ones of you all. Well, she's saying that our home is open to you. However, there is certain behavior that you must exhibit to get in. And even that she loves some and don't others, so they can always come and you can't. That's not the way it's set up. If your behavior is right, there'll be a time you can come. I'm going to do the same thing. I get in my home and whatnot. When it's large enough, I would invite you to mine now, but it's full. If I get one big enough, I'm going to invite you to my home. I want you to see how I live. I want you to see what we have on the walls, what we have on the floors, how the table is set, where the bathroom is, what's in it. I don't want you to come sit right in the living room and then get up and leave. Stumble around the whole house. Don't do like white folks. They wait till you go in the kitchen, they run in and peek for your books, pull your drawers like that. Yeah. However, the same thing will be done, but it'll be done differently. We will take you because we're not trying to hide nothing. Well, I didn't know you're trying to hide something, so he always trying to sneak and see what you got. With us, you come to the house, oh, come on in. You want to see my room? Want to see my bedroom? Yeah, I would like to see it. So take them up to the bedroom. And on the way, show them yours. Oh, you don't live here, do you? This way, you really get a chance to see that there's no big eyes and little U's. And what I have prepared for me is only that I prepared it for me because I'm at this level of thinking. I want you to have the same thing and better. Because, I've gone to people's homes and they got some pads. They are laid out. I say to myself, whoa, I should be there. However, it don't excite me because it's just another form of material that's been shaped and molded the way this person wanted it. Most time when you see it like that, it's because of money. It don't have nothing to do with intelligence. You have bought interior decorator not a designer. He does the same thing, but you don't call it designer. What is it? Architect. You have bought his mind for that building. That's all. However, you yourself don't have no part in it other than you had the money to buy his mind so you can look at his mind all the time. In your mind, the one thing you can say, I paid for this. Well, hell, anybody that had the money could do it. You couldn't think it up. He had to come draw you how you like this. He draw you 3 or 4 different things. Which one of these do you like? White folks do the same thing. They build homes. They got a set how they build homes. Which one? You like this? You like that? You like that? You like this neighborhood? You like this neighborhood? If you see, yeah, I like this. That's somebody else's mind that you buying. That's all. We're in a place now where we gonna buy our own from our own thinking. It ain't what you call buy, but we will have earned it. So that's what we do. Okay, anything else? Will somebody bring the mic? Bring it.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Wa alaikum salam.
A question comes to my mind since we're exposing Satan here. In Genesis, where it speaks about the serpent or Satan bruised the heel of the seed of the woman, or she in turn bruised the head of the seed of Satan?
Yes, sir.
What is the fullness of that?
Well, the fullness of that is that when the messenger was raised up, that's the sheep that it's talking about. And the Catholic religion or Christianity was fighting or trying to make the messenger what he was saying about Islam to be wrong. And he caused our people to disrespect the messenger in the most gross way. So they got quite a few people, kept them away from the messenger or from their sheep. However, what the messenger was speaking and the power that was in the message really crushed the head of the serpent, because the serpent had no defense against that. He can only use propaganda, tricks, and lies to fool our people that were already dead. However, he couldn't fool not one person that was woke. So now, during the time that the messenger was teaching, the head of the snake, which is the Pope of Rome, got shot. But he died not from his wound. It reads in the Bible, the dragon got shot and it killed him. But he did not die from the wound. What it means is that the Pope physically got shot. And by him physically getting shot, it killed that thing about what was in the people's mind. He was so eminent, so close to God. He was the Father. It killed that. But the physical body didn't die. So that's what it means. The messenger or the woman bruised the head, or stomped and bruised his head. So now, the snake is unable to do what it usually does, because his head is bruised. We only got bruised on the heel. You got two heels, one head. So you can hop along on one foot. You see? So that's what that really means. You know, that means, and the, what would say, the seed of the, what was that part about the seed, you say?
This bruised the heel of the seed of the woman, and the woman in turn bruises the seed of the head of the serpent.
Okay. This means, well, the seed is, when the messenger was here with us, the seed was us. We hadn't been born. We were still dead. That's why I say we came to a blind, deaf, dumb, mentally dead people. We were seed, but we was nothing. Just seed. So the snake had bruised us. You know, we was talking this Jesus stuff. They had a picture all up on the wall. Blue eyes, blonde hair. He bruised us. He bruised the seed. But the mother itself bruised the head.
That would be the messenger.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I understand. Yes, sir. One more. You've given us the possible solution to jealousy, and I think I heard you once there about procrastination. What do you have for Henri? According to some sources, I need about a truckload of it, whatever it is.
Well, most of the time, honoriness comes from lack of patience, or you've been dealt a blow over and over and over in the same way that's wrong. So you build up a defense for it, and you apply the defense to everybody. You're not selective into who you apply it to. So even when the righteous come, you apply it to them too. So they say, well, now, what the hell is wrong with him? This man is just right, ornery. You know, that's what, you either have lived in such a way that these forces has come against you, that's the protection that you set up for yourself. So unless the person, you said, you know, if it is you that fits what I'm about to say, you set yourself up in such a way that you see everybody this way first. If they're not, then they got to prove it to you before you change and treat them the way that they deserve to be treated. However, when they first come, you don't know. And you really don't give a damn. So you treat them with a blanket treatment. When they prove that they don't deserve it, that's when you stop. However, it stems from this bruising of the seed. You were one of the seed that got bruised.
Yes, sir. All right. That's good. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Did you understand? Yes, sir. That was all right? All right. Yes, sir.
2X, and I'm a visitor. I was here. I'm from California, and I was a member during the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's time. So I'll be going back from here sometime. I don't know when, but what I've seen so far, I'm 53 years old, and what's being done here is beautiful. And Allahu Akbar.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Well, when you get back, make sure anybody that wants to hear it, let them know that we have arrived. And at the same time, if you go back there and you find that you don't have a home, you got one here. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Father. If it's not appropriate for me to ask this question, you can stop me.
Thank you.
However,
I said thank you. That's it. Go ahead.
I didn't mean it, no disrespect, Father. It's been bothering me, and I had a talk with Brother Yahya. We talked about this idea of we put a period, there was a period put to 6 planets before we got to the 7th one. And if you and hints and clues in your tapes indicate that there is a history that goes beyond 78 trillion years, then the original Allah, when he created himself, going beyond 78 trillion years, what took place in that history going back to the 6th, the 5th, the 4th, and so forth, all the way back to the first planet, which is Pluto? There's no indication of that history going beyond 78 trillion years. What took place in that history going back to the 6th, the 5th, the 4th, and so forth, all the way back to the first planet, which is Pluto? There's no indication of that history and how long ago that was. And we have a history going back 78 trillion years. And if Allah came into existence 78 trillion years ago, what was here prior to that?
He was.
So his history goes back further than 78 trillion years.
There's no way to date it. Yes, sir. In other words, there's no way to date Allah's history. However, it's not necessary to put a date on it. Is.
Yes, sir.
That's why you can't find the beginning of it.
Yes, sir.
It started off as is, so much so that it took power over the matter. Now, when is not necessary. It's just that truth is truth forever.
Yes, sir.
Now, the different bodies of matter that we have to represent or to give proof that we were here wasn't done on a time span. However, since we brought in a system of time, we know how to apply that to what we did do to put time to it. And we can see in the number of years according to this planet around the sun, because each planet has its own year. So we could do that. However, it isn't necessary.
Yes, sir.
I made the statement once before that Pluto was made so long ago that we almost forgot it.
Yes, sir.
And we oftentimes forget it. Just brought back to our memory. That's got to be a long time for God or Allah to forget.
Yes, sir.
And it's not so much that we forgot Pluto, it's that we forgot the knowledge that we use to produce it. It's so elementary.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This negative that we identified 72 trillion years ago, there was no indication that it was there until 72 trillion years ago.
Oh, yes, sir. That was an indication quite a while ago. Way back. However, there was no decision made where God would spend a specific amount of energy to find out what it is.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Somebody spray some pepper. Is that it? Brother Anthony and Brother John. Oh, you all understanding this? if anybody got to go that's not with us, I won't be offended. You know, because I know you maybe think it's going to be this long. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Father. Thank you for this opportunity to have this type of audience. And also thank Mother for positioning us. What I need assistance with, Father, is I once again have been blessed to be in the Secretary Department, and what I'm working with, you touched upon today, is when you shared that those who you have prepared, when they teach, sometimes they may cause fear in others. And my beloved brother, Secretary James Stewex, a lot of times when he teaches me, a fear comes in me. And as he explained to me, it is, in fact, a fear of failing. And I really do want to get over that and really just allow the growth to take place.
Well, you want to know what to do?
Yes, sir.
You are a particular individual that have your own way of seeing things. And it didn't just develop yesterday. You've been that way almost since you were born. However, it's your way. You won't be comfortable until you be able to do that again. But what will make you possible, you got to give up everything now. You got to become just like a limp piece of paper. You can't force your will on anything. And what's being shared with you, once you get it, once you got it, then you can start applying the way that you think to it again, and you'll be right. However, when you're trying to apply it the way you think right along with why you're being taught, that's what brings up the fear, because it's going to conflict, and you're going to do something wrong. You got to completely give yourself up. Say, all right, well, whatever you have for me, just give it to me. And you listen and say, well, do it so-and-so way. Even if you know another way to do it the way they say do it. Until you get so good at it, and that's, well, I got it. It's like saying, well, yes, sir. It's like saying, well, I want you to go from here to Kalamazoo, Michigan. There are many ways to go. And you figure out which way. The key is to get to Kalamazoo safely. Now, if you're going to do it from a way that you know how to do it and do it safely, nothing going to be said. If you don't know, just in case you don't know, this is the route that you take. Go this way. If you go that way and you see everything and you make the people that are teaching you comfortable and seeing that you know how to follow instructions and you do it, then the next time or the couple times after that, you go a different way. Or they just say, well, look, just take this to Kalamazoo. They don't tell you no more. You say, well, I haven't got to go the same way. If you know a better way, go the way you know. Now they can trust you because they see that you're giving yourself to make sure what you do is right. So if you do it on your own thinking, the key thing, you're still going to do it right. However, until then, you're going to mess up. You got to just give yourself. If you're in a position, someone is teaching you something, then you got to give yourself, especially with us. Just give yourself. Ain't nobody going to hurt you. You know, be something different and say, well, I'm putting you in the lion's den, and I'm locking the door, and Allah be with you. But then, you better start doing something to protect yourself if you can. However, you know, if they put you in a cage in the lion's den, and if the lions can't get to you in the cage, in his cage, you're in a cage in the cage. You're protected. You can sleep, you can eat, do everything. They can't get to you, all but you're looking right at them. That's what it is here. It's a nation within a nation. Now, to actually learn how to operate this nation where we don't fall victim to the one that we're already in, you're in a protected environment. So just give yourself up. Until you get a grip on it, then you can take it back over.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bob.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
There's a saying of Prophet Muhammad 1400 years ago. It goes something like this, that there's two things that take men to hell and damnation. And that's the two hollow points. One being the mouth and one being the male organ. In its fullness, what does that mean?
Well, there's two things that will take you into damnation.
Yes.
The mouth and the male organ.
Yes.
Well, if you speak ill, that's what your life will be. If you speak it, if you speak death, that's the way you will live. If you speak life, that's the way you will live. And the male organ, if you use it outside of what it is being made to use for in a different way, it will take you, because it will take you into lust. And lust, especially if you're not operating on a righteous wavelength of thought, the feeling of what the body gives you supersedes what you think of. So you always are trying to get that high again. It's like taking dope. Well, it's natural. So if you use it wrong, what comes from it when the woman gives birth to the child, and you not being a man and you still there in the house, the child's gonna grow up and kill you. Because they don't have no respect for you. And that's what's happening today. The parents are scared of the children. Because in the male organ, he impregnated a woman. He didn't teach his wife. His wife's father-in-law didn't teach her. He didn't teach her. The child grows up and put him out of the house. That's what that really means.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Father.
Yes, sir. And you know, when a statement is made like that, brother, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got your name. I know that. Eric, right? When you read that in the Quran or Bible or anything of that nature, anytime it speaks of something that is natural, and the naturalness of it, you know, it's natural for a male to have a male organ, penis. It's natural. We didn't make nothing natural to take us to disaster. So it's got to be your use of it. You see? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yes, sir. You know, as I sit back there and listen, when Mother came up and shared what she shared for us, having the brothers and sisters come forth and unleash or reveal Satan, if you will. You know, I was battling, you know, with Satan. You know, I said, well, I need to go up. So he said, no, you sit here. I said, all right. So, you know, the battle went on. However, you and me won the battle, and I came forth to share this. You know, I have a problem for us being righteous consistently. You know, I see where I want to go, you know, for as right is concerned. However, there's always stumbling blocks. There's always situations that take me off that course, or that I allow to take me off that course. You know, I need some fortified knowledge, understanding, clarity, you know, that will allow me to persevere continuously, you know, so that I can be exactly what I need to be.
Well, you're an individual that lives in the sunset. You need to do the same as what Brother Anthony, what I told him to do. You got to give up yourself. You have it strong. You know, like it's just you. I mean, it is you. You're in the sunset. And the sunset, what that means is that you're living in your mind at a time where it's time to put away things. You're getting ready to lay down and take a rest. You're getting ready to end. It's the end of the day. So doing right consistently isn't that really that important because you get ready to retire anyhow. You need to just give it up. Just give yourself up. And come with someone that's in the sunshine and just be with them. Let them hold your hand and be with them. And whatever you're thinking, even when you're in the sunset that way, in the sun, you're still thinking sunset. That's what's trapping you up. You do it so, it's so much you, it's like you have authority in it. You even do it detailed. Just like that, you very organized, very together. You know, it's like the sun is set so much that now you start seeing the redness. And the sky's really going down, you start seeing the darkness coming up. That's where you live at, in your mind. So it's almost like you're justified and not putting no real importance on anything because now you got to go retire while the sun is gone and wait for it to rise. However, since you are there permanently, it never sets and never rises. You understand what I'm saying?
Not clearly, Father.
You know, oftentimes when I'm riding down the road, I think about if the sun really sets at about 7 o'clock, and it's 6:45, you can start to see the rays of the sun then going away from you. I often think to myself, I say, somewhere on the earth, this setting is always just like this. It's just that Earth is turning so fast, I can't keep up with that. In other words, I can't stay right in that setting. If I could move as fast as the Earth is moving, I could stay right in that situation, right in that sunset all the time. If the Earth is rotating at 37 in a third mile per, 1,037 in a third mile per hour, if I could drive that fast in the opposite direction, I could always stay right in that sunset. You understand what I'm saying? I would never see it set, and I would never see it rise because I'm always right. In other words, I'm traveling just as fast as the Earth is. It keeps me right in that situation all the time. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm always thinking that, and it's no need for me to actually go home. It ain't nothing there for me no how. I'm always thinking that. I never get home to see if there's any changes. I never get there. Because in my mind, it ain't no need for me to go there. And as long as I keep that in my mind, I may never go. Purposely. If I go, it may be from some circumstance that I just ended up there, but it wasn't purposely. And even when I get there, I still keep in my mind, it really ain't no need for me to be here. That's what you do in your thinking towards life, how you see things. It never progresses out of that particular zone. You stay right in that sunset zone all the time. Meaning that no new thoughts come to you. And the old thoughts don't have no real importance to you because it's time for them to go out. But since you stay right there with it all the time, it's like you're on cruise. You're on 70-mile-an-hour cruise. You're just there all the time. All the time. The person's running 90, passes you soon. The person's running 65, you pass him soon. But you stay right there all the time. You don't back off of it. You don't get into it. You're just right there all the time. So the only thing you ever see is things that you see at 70 miles an hour. You don't see things, you never see the things that you would see running 100. Or see the things that you would see back down to 30. Or see the things that you just stop. You never see it because you see things always at the rate of 70 miles per hour.
And that's not healthy.
No, sir. That's not healthy.
Okay, now how do I change that?
You have to give yourself up to someone that is in the sun. You have to give yourself up to someone that is flexible. In other words, that they have a system about themselves that they is able to go in and out from 0 to 90, to 160, 200. They do what they want when they want. You need to be with somebody like that so you can see and experience what's it like to do something different. And let that experience that they show you enable you to change your thinking. That's the only way to happen. You can't sit, you can't listen to the tapes and do it. You can't sit and study and do it. You have to be with someone that's actually going to almost take you by the hand and show you and tell you, put your hand on that. You put your hand on it. Oh, that feels good. But if it was left up to you, you see all day, you would never touch it. Now, since you've touched it, that's put an impression on your mind. So now you got something else to go back and do if you want to do it. And after a certain period of that, then it'll start to change.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see that. Yes, sir. Thank you, Father.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Secretary? All right, after you.
Yes, sir, Father. I was in your sharing with Brother Seymour and the clarity of what you was sharing with him, in the examples that you were sharing with him. In his particular case, in other words, once you shared the example, I said, oh, in other words, I got it. Would that be the equivalent of like you going at 90 miles an hour? However, the way that he was thinking, it prohibited him to really see what you were saying.
Yes.
You know, so he never saw. I don't see it. And then you give another example because he never accelerated to the degree in which you were sharing with him. He never submitted himself completely.
Yes, sir.
That's what I was saying. Yes.
That's exactly what happened. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Father. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I thank you for this opportunity to talk to you for a few minutes. I had a dream that came to me around the celebration, and I was pondering over the meaning of it, and I was kind of reluctant to get up to ask you about it. However, that's just something about myself that I have to overcome when it comes to yourself. That's probably my way of trying to overcome Satan. However, the dream, I want to share that with you. And if you could share how I can overcome the other problem, I would like you to do that also. In the dream, when I recognized what was going on, I was running across the field with my children, as we often did in the past. We would have little running games where we would just run and race. And what I realized was that I was in the United Nations of Islam when this was going on, because we were running to a place where we were apparently staying here in the nation. And when I got in, I was surprised to see that there was a woman there. I didn't realize that it was my ex-wife at the time, because she wasn't facing me. However, I did realize that at the time I was married, and I was inside the circle. So I said, well, wow, this is a different situation. So I know I have to beat God and stand up. So let me immediately check the kitchen to see if everything is all right, that there's necessary food and things of that nature there. This was in my mind in the dream. And as I walked into the kitchen, I was absolutely amazed because it was so beautiful. And I didn't realize that it was filled up like that. But one of the things that I saw when I was looking in there, which puzzled me about the dream after I woke up, it was filled with it seemed like live wheat and a lot of bags of carrots. I mean, they were just everywhere. And I said, wow, all praise be the Father. And I went out, and that's when I realized that the woman that was there was my ex-wife, which really surprised me because in my own thinking in the past, I've come to the conclusion that I probably wouldn't have anything else to do with her. But for some reason, I had this very, very pleased and pleasant feeling when I saw that. And she was talking to another sister who's back in Maryland at headquarters. And in their conversation, they were saying that, yeah, the brothers came into the kitchen and just packed it and filled it full of food and just left out. So that's when I woke up from the dream, and it was very, very pleasant. It was just a pleasant experience. I wanted to know if you could share with me what that meant.
Well, are you married now?
No, sir.
You about to get married?
No, sir.
Well, evidently it looks like that may be taking place. And I don't see it being so much as a private kitchen as I do see it being the bakery. You know, that's the kitchen that was packed with food.
Yes, sir.
You know, we're bringing things up off the farm, and the bakery looks like a kitchen, and in front of it is a supermarket. It's going to be jam-packed with food.
Yes, sir.
So you may have been seeing that, and it could be possible by then either your wife that will be here, or one that you should have will be here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Father.
Yes, sir.
And the other part of the question was my relationship with you. How do I overcome? That is, there's something about me that causes me to be that way.
Well, this is another thing that Satan uses to try to make you believe that you're not worthy, you know, or that you shouldn't bother me. You know, if you have a fear of really being personal or telling me things,
Yes, sir.
this is another form of Satan. He makes you feel that way. Really, it's him that don't want to talk to me and don't want to confess because I make him go away. The real you want to, but since he is speaking to you and making it seem like it makes good sense, then you kind of somewhat keep yourself away. Well, all you have to do is just try.
Yes, sir.
You'll see.
Yes, sir.
I'm not really hard to get along with.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Father.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Most of the time, if you all as brothers and sisters really know how to get right to the point, if you know how to do that, you know, without filling me in on every detail, which you really don't have to do because I really pick up on it, I can just about answer what you want to know within 3 or 4 steps. And I don't ever have to stop going where I'm going. But most of the time you feel as though, well, I need to know at least a background or foundation of what you're getting ready to ask me. So you build up this thing and you tell me. Then I have to stop to actually answer you. That's what you think. Since I know you think that way, I oblige you, so I stop. And I listen. And when you finish, then I answer it. He said, oh, it's that simple. I can answer it real simple. Most of the time, I answer it the way you ask me. I give you a whole lot of build-up and give you the answer. If you come me like point blank, Father, what about, am I going to be married? Nope. You can all walk. You know? It'd be just that fast. You see? Well, if you tell me, well, you know, you did this, and you saw this, and you felt this, and you gripped this, and whatnot, then I come and say, well, you know, if you do this, and you do that, and you do the other, so on, you know, it's possible, so on, so on. Go through the whole long thing. Yeah, really, that's the way it is. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Father.
Yes, sir.
Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Did I understand you to say that the brothers like me, if we can't find a sister who chooses us, we can go and get a Christian and bring her in here and clean her up?
Well, yes, sir. If you, I won't say bring her in here. Oh, well. But you can get, you know, especially the brothers. You know, I revere you and those that are like you as my father.
Yes.
You know, and I got to respect it. You know, you have been engaging as far as having personal love with you before I was born.
Yes.
So I got to respect that. Just because I have now came in this form to speak to you as a supreme being does not change the fact that the laws of nature, you're still experiencing that. So if you want to go out, if you cannot find no one within the house, you go out and pick someone that's not in the house, and you talk with them, and you want them, and they want you, fine with me. Because I know if you've been here this long, ain't nobody else going to take you out. You know, you go out with them, you would more or less bring them in. So if that is the case with those that are, I would say 45 and older, if you want to do that, you all want to do that, that's fine. You don't have to be so afraid that they're going to take you out. If you're with me and you're a man, they can only go but one way. That's with you.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, the only thing that I say is not a safe practice for the sisters to do that.
Yes, sir.
To go out because they haven't found a brother, they see what we call lost found. And they go after him. And he's not an idea. He will take them out because he has power. You know, just by being intimate with them, to be intimate spiritually, mentally, and physically, he will take them away from this. That's why the sisters aren't encouraged. But the brothers, if you can't find one here, you know, go to the other ocean. Quite a few fish in there.
Yes, sir.
You know, cast your reel, pull one out, clean it up. Hey, you got you a fish.
Oh, yes. What is the age? You know, they came up with a formula that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad used. Says 1/2 plus 25 or something like that. What is the age for a man like me? Suppose I picked a young sister, Father. What is wrong with me picking a young sister?
The reason why in the first place the age was given is to make sure, as long as we live in the life that we've been accustomed to, that the man does not run out before the sister runs out of wanting to be intimate.
Yes.
If that's unbalanced, well, then you have problems.
Yes.
Now, as far as a brother that has the energy that you have, whatnot, as long as you don't have a woman, most of it's in your mind. So what takes place is you should have someone that wants to practice or wants to engage in love making, you know, ever so often. Not as a young person would be, and you would start with her. And since it's something new with her, they want it quite frequently until they get used to it. They want to say, well, something this good, you know, I got to do it in the morning, I got to do it at night. You know, John, let me go to work. While I'm at work, I better go home and try it again. Something this good, I got to try this again. She got you. You can't answer that. You know, you got to get someone that is going to be able to answer. You will be able to answer her walk, her wants, or her needs.
Yes, sir.
And everything will go smooth.
Yes, sir.
So now, how old are you now?
77 and a half.
77. Well, you have a very nimble and quick mind. And it looks like you're starting to get younger.
Yes.
However, 77, I would say if you get somebody 55, between 55 and 62,
Yes, sir.
and you all grow back to the youth together,
Yes, sir.
you know, you won't have no problem. However, if you get somebody young, you know, you're not going to hold them. If you did, it wouldn't be for a short while.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I'm not saying you find a Christian and find somebody like that. You know, the Christian is blessed by having you. Because they got somebody that's got knowledge. They got somebody that's got a foundation. They got somebody that the world, or at least us, we love you.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, they got to support. So, if you want to go find one, hey.
Thank you, Father.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Wa alaikum salam.
It's a pleasure to see you again.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you first for directing my wife and I here.
Yes, sir.
We are enjoying it very much, and we're growing little by little.
Yes, sir.
What I wanted to ask you, sir, is, I think it was December 3rd through December December 7th of 97, I had to go to the hospital because I had a problem with my blood pressure, and I was a little incoherent. And the doctor put me on 2 medications. One, atenolol, 2, Procardia, thank you, Procardia. And the other one had to do with Coumadin. And the doctor claims that I have to have thinner blood in order to prevent the clotting. And he claimed that I may have had a, what do you call that? Yes, my wife was a mini stroke. As a result of that, he said I would have to be on Coumadin for the rest of my life. This is what he was saying. You know. However, I'm just wondering, I have been wondering, how should I deal with that, especially Coumadin?
Well, this is what you do anytime you go to the doctor, especially of your age.
Yes, sir.
It's either to correct or just to maintain some type of habit that has brought about whatever illness or disease that you have. We have, as far as the thickening of the blood, usually it's coming from the blood-carrying mucus. Just the lemon itself will thin that out. And if you eat the right type of mushroom, it'll take care of it. You know, if you're taking it, and then you find this out what the lemon will do, or whatever herb that will do the same thing, it's good to start with that. With herb, you know, you still take the medicine, and you ease off of the medicine while you're taking the herb until you get things back into its proper balance. And that's what will happen. Remember, we're going back to being younger again.
Yes, sir.
And there are some things that we've been doing up until now that has caused us really to express death. And the body has started to take on that, to going back to nothing, because remember, that's what Satan wants to do. Take it back to nothing. It is still material. It's just not alive as the way we know life is. You know, Satan is in that iron there. But he don't worry too much about that, because it's moving so slow. For you and I, they can be flexible and quickness in the movement and whatnot. He's concerned about that, because we can make the iron. We can make it move. We can change its form. He don't want that. So he would rather kill you and leave the iron. It's just the iron. So we're going to go back. So the things that you're taking, you know, see my wife, let her know, and then we will deal with it through there. You know, however, the things, we got a formula now that we came up with, and Sister Dana, I don't know if she stumbled upon it or we gave it to her in the unseen or what, but we've been doing some research with the lemon, and we've taken the lemon itself and washed it very clean and blended everything up, took the seeds out of it, so we drink the whole thing. It's made like a Slurpee almost, and that bad boy will kill a brass monkey.
Yes, sir. All right.
It'll clean you up, you know. And I don't know how many of y'all have read the book of I think the author is Eric, on what was the name of the book? Mucusless diet. And what he says about the lemon in there absolutely is true.
Yes.
You know, if you're in a wheelchair, that bad boy will take you out of the wheelchair. You'll be walking again. You know, we're seeing it. I took some, you know, just a glass, and it tastes so good. Man, it really tastes good. I was looking for the lemon to be, you know, like turn your mouth on. But it's nice and sweet, and it had the sweetness from the lemon. They put a little fructose in it. And I drank, I guess, about this much in the glass. Man, for the last 3 or 4 days, it's just been bringing up mucus, just bringing it up. And, you know, that hadn't been taking place.
Yes.
So what it does is take the stuff out of you. And mucus is formed in your body to take away the poison from the organs and holds it. So if the poison got to the organs, it would kill you. But the mucus takes that poison, takes it off, and puts it and holds it, and it gets hard. After a while, it gets in your blood vessels, and they call it plaque and all that other stuff. You know, it's clothing makes things smaller, but it's trying to keep it from the organ.
Yes.
Then after a while, you end up with asthma, you end up with heart trouble, and all these different things. That mucus will break it up and send it out. In other words, it's like taking a dirty engine, breaking it down, cleaning all the parts, polishing it back up, all in it, whatnot, put it back together. That's how your body will be.
Yes. Plus, the doctor gave me another medication. What was that for the heart? Hydrin. Right.
Well, the whole thing about this is that you have to gain your strength back.
Yes.
You know, you have the time now if you have the will. You have other people that actually help you if you will allow them to. Like I said, I give you access to my wife. You know, she knows quite a bit about the different herbs, different medicines that the devil uses and names that he gives to it. You know, we've made it possible where you can stay and actually go to work and actually building your body back up. You know, if you feel, you know, that you can't wait and you got to do certain things, if you're going to eat wrong, you're going to do this, it's not going to help you.
Yes.
You know, if you take a herb that's going to do 50% on this side and then you eat something that's going to go against 50%, you're not making no progress. You got to do it in such a way where if you're going to do it, do it.
Yes.
You know, it may be difficult in the beginning because most things we do is out of habit, not out of knowledge. You do it out of habit.
Yes.
And the habit that you have acquired is the habits of Satan. And it takes you to death. So when you reverse the habit, that's the strongest thing you got to, you just make yourself do it. And after a while, you get to the point where it starts to get easier and easier. I know I used to drink coffee. It was almost like a habit. So when I went in the other place, if I got anything other than coffee, you know, it's like, I didn't drink nothing. When I first started drinking the tea, so I drink the tea there. It ain't got no weight to it. Ain't got no body to it. It's thin. I mean, it's just all these things come up in your mind. It's just, you know, however I thought, I better drink it. It's better than drinking that coffee. And that's why I kept doing it. I kept drinking the tea. And that's why now, if I drink coffee, I can taste the bitterness in it. And at first it wasn't like that. I made myself go and drink the tea. Now I like to drink tea.
One more thing. I want to thank Brother Jesse.
Yes, sir.
For his help. He has helped me quite amount in some of the vitamins or
yes, sir.
Items that he had given me, and I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I appreciate this.
Well, we have quite a few people that know how to do certain things with vitamins. Sister Lyota has a very good knowledge of things of that nature. Now, Mother has quite a bit. You know, I wouldn't say ask her that she have time. You know, because of so many other things she's doing. However, this is, you know, quite a few sisters have knowledge of it. I know Sister Joan has knowledge of things. And you look mighty good today, too. They treating you good out here? Yes. All right. You gonna come back? You don't? You don't want to come back? Listen. You might not. I'm gonna have to move right. That's my mother-in-law. Right. Sister Joan is my mother-in-law. One of her beautiful daughters accepted me to be her husband. Yes, sir. Okay.
Last thing for me. My wife and I have volunteered to work in the sewing department.
All right.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays to start off with. And, well, I've done a little sewing on my own a few years back. And I found it to be very interesting. We're working on the bow ties, and I'm working on the bow ties right now, and that pocket handkerchief. And it's very nice. I just thought I'd share that with you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You enjoy it.
Yes,
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Assalamu alaikum, Father. I just wanted to get some clarity on what's happening to me. I've had this feeling before. Today, when it was announced that you would be here today, that I could actually feel my entity just dancing around. I'll be sitting there calm, however my entity be just dancing. I have to tell it, slow down, stop this. And I want to know if that's really what's happening to me or what that feeling is that I get.
Well, yes, ma'am. It may appear in your mind that you're dancing around. However, that's what you express in a way that it's just showing that you're happy. A long time ago, well, I won't say a long time ago, some time has passed when I said that you were, for my daughter, and she's happiness. And that's what you are. Since you were older than my daughter and had more stuff heaped on you, or I won't say more, you had it on you longer. It took a while, a little while for it to be cleared away so you could actually see the beauty of yourself. Now you're starting to see it, and you see that you have a real family. You don't have to worry about nothing. And you can start to be happy. When I come about, you identify that happiness and that security from your son-in-law. So when you hear about him coming, it's like, oh, it's like, yeah. That's what's there. And plus, that type of happiness you can see in the future. It's almost like, can I say this? Yeah. How you know? You don't know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. It's the same thing. It's like you're away from home, or you left home, and you and your husband or your husband and your wife was so close. There wasn't no intimacy, but just mentally, and the hugs and the kisses and the real concern that he's going out and everything to come back safely. And while he's gone, he's thinking, man, I can't wait to get back to see my wife. And she's at the house, she's at home. I can't wait for him to get back here. We're going to have a lovely time this evening. Matter of fact, I'll get started now. I'm going to fix him a beautiful, I'm going to fix the meal that he like, and I'm even going to put love into that. This is in your mind. I'm saying this so you all see what she's experiencing. So now, when you all do get together, everything is fine. The meal is good, the conversation is good, the weather is good, the vibes of the house is fine, the 1.5 child that you got, they're being behaved, And then when you all retire to your own room, and you go there, and then she has it fixed up with your favorite lemonade. Everything is laid out, and the conversation is still good. The conversation is almost so good that you don't get into bed. You're sitting on the side of the bed, you're talking. But in your mind, this is going to be capped off or topped off with some intimate love. The thought of it is better than doing it. In other words, you are looking forward to what has not happened. And everything that you see is tremendously gratifying. That's what you explain.
Yes, sir.
But however, this is on a spiritual level. Okay.
Yes, sir. Well, it's a good feeling. Hopefully I'll hold on to it.
Yes, ma'am. Ooh, we got a lot of them. Let me see. We got one of the sisters.
Yes, sir, Father. I would like to share with you a dream that I had to get some understanding on it.
Not too long, is it?
No, sir, it's very short.
All right.
Yes, sir. Ever since I can remember, I've been having the dream that I was outside, and it was a real bright day, and me and a couple other sisters, we was in a circle, and everyone looked alike. It was just different skin complexions, and we was just spinning around, and everyone was smiling and laughing and everything, and I could feel myself getting dizzy in the dream. However, it wasn't like something negative, and we was just spinning and spinning and never stopped, and until I turned about 11 years old, that's when the dream stopped. However, I've been having it for a real long time.
Well, you haven't been in the nation that long, have you?
Yes, sir, since I was 10.
That's a year? Are you 11 years old now?
No, sir, I'm 12.
12?
Yes, sir.
You've been with us 2 years?
Yes, sir.
Well, what I've seen is that you were seeing what you were going to be doing. In other words, you were having a dream. It was showing you what you were going to be doing. And you're going to be happy. You were in your mind, it spoke to you at a child's level that you were swinging, you say swinging or going around in circles. Well, at that time it was fun. What it's really going to be, the key is that you're going to be happy. Everybody is going to look the same. It's not, you're going to have the look of life. That's what everybody has, the look of life. They may have a different skin tone, but through that skin tone that's shining through is life. You don't see beauty because of youth. You don't see it because of you've been eating bean soup. You know, it's not a bean soup glow that you see. It's life. That's why everybody looks alike. However, it's a thing showing you that you're 12 years old now, you say?
Yes, sir.
You in heaven. You can't do anything but get better.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Father.
Yes, ma'am. Sister Mariam?
Yes, sir, Father. I have the same question as a dream. I didn't. With your permission, you would give some understanding too. Yes, sir. I had this dream a few months ago, and I've been rotating on it ever since. And it's still vivid in my mind as if I just had it. We were at the center. Everyone was at the center when we were still having temple meetings. And myself and another sister, we snuck out of the meeting, and we went to the front of the center. And the bus was parked in the parking lot. And we were just, admiring the beauty of the day. And then a little ship came. It just came out, and we didn't even see it. It just came out, and it started hovering over the bus. And the driver, or one of the brothers that was flying the plane, operating the plane, gave us the greens, and we could see him. It was so close, we almost could touch it. He gave us the greens. How we never saw his lips move, so we returned him. We was happy and jumping and waving and everything. So I would like to know what that meant. We took off real quick.
Oh, that was a real good dream. Well, first place it lets you know that there's a power that's in accord with what we are doing. In other words, it's like saying, you all are children at this now, just for the fact that they could visit you like that, you can't visit them. So it lets you know there's a power that's in accord with what you're doing, that's backing you up. So be happy. And one day, soon, if they gave you the greeting, you could see him, he didn't move his mouth. And that's the same way they were telling me. They never opened their mouth. They never opened their mouth, and they spoke to me, and I'm still trying to get to the end of it. But what they're saying, soon you're going to be with them. They'll be with you. Actually, it won't be that separation. The only thing that separates us now is the lack of knowledge that we have and the abundance of what they have. So it's like as we grow closer together. Then they'll be able to come pick you up, take you on rides, you go with them, do something, you'll be more happy.
Yes, sir.
So it lets you know you're at home. If you don't leave the United Nations of Islam, other people see them, they don't be speaking or smiling.
Yes, sir.
So it's a good dream.
Yes, sir.
All right? And the bus, what was it, a little white bus or
yes.
The little white bus?
The white bus, yes, sir.
Okay. It hovered over the bus?
Yes, sir.
And what does the bus usually carry, the young people?
It carries everyone.
Carries everyone?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, if you're with me, they love me. I love you. So if they love me, and I'm not supposed to love you, I wouldn't.
Yes.
So you got it made.
Yes. May I ask one more thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you share with me what my name means?
Mario?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's hard to get rid of.
Yes, sir.
However, on a positive sense.
Yes, sir.
If you understand that.
Yes, sir.
That's what it means. You know, your daddy don't want you to get married. You want to leave and don't want to leave. Your husband, once he actually becomes your husband, he gonna be watching you. It's just gonna be hard to get away from him.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Is this good for you all?
Assalamualaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
Mine is a situation that ever since I've been in heaven, it seems like everything's been going downhill. The position, the duty that I'm in, I really love it. However, it doesn't seem, I'm not doing that. So, the question that I'm asking at this time, what is this that you see in my entity or something within me that is causing me to go in that direction, or something that can assist me in my development?
Well, you have to do what you know. Don't try to do it in a way to please somebody else. You do what you know. You know, nobody has to tell me how to drive. Just tell me where you want me to go. You see? If I need a suit made and you can make it, I'll put the order in. I'll make sure you got the material. I'll leave. Make the suit. Don't take on, well, his father, am I making it fast enough? I ain't making it fast enough? What is father thinking? You know, is he going to like this? No. You do what you know. And you won't have no problem. If you really love what you do, and you know how to do it, you don't have no problem. When you put the person in, you messed up. Now, there may be some things that you should be doing along with your profession. Some things that you may not be seeing that is necessary to be seen, since now you're doing it for a righteous reason. First place, your word's got to be your word. If you say something, make sure that you say what you do and do what you say. That's all. And what you don't know, find out. Don't be intimidated. Don't be intimidated. Don't let nothing intimidate you. You in heaven, nothing is to intimidate you. You either be taught, or teach. Do or have done too. Simple as that. It's easy. When you start adding in things, and you start leaving out things, you start avoiding things, you start putting things away, like on the back shelf, the back burner, and say, I'll get to it later, knowing that you're not. And then someone calls you up on it, and if you want to go be in defense, or you want to do something you're going to make up for it, you don't make up for nothing. You just do. Just do. It ain't something that you don't know how to do. If you know how to do it, just do it. That's all. And if someone says to you, well, you should have done so and so and so and so and so. Well, mother, I couldn't have done that because so and so and so and so and so. Well, did you ask anyone? No, ma'am. See? You're in a nation now. You're not private by yourself. You're not in a business. You're in a nation. Did you need help? Yes, but I didn't ask. Huh? You messed up. You're in a nation. You're not in the business. Well, could you get to so-and-so to pick the stuff up? No, ma'am. Why? Because I didn't have gas for the car. You what? Don't you own a gas station? Does not it read your filling station? You see, when you make that statement, it's, you messed up. You're not in business, you're in a nation. That's all. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Sounds simple, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
It is, just that
Yes,
simple.
sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Don't take it like you messed up. If your question is asked, just move right on the answer. It's simple. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Assalamualaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
I had two questions, if I may.
Yes, ma'am.
The first question is, like, when I'm around you, or when I know that it's like I feel you in the presence, like when you came to the bakery and you gave everyone a hug, it's like a certain energy that came, that was on me, and it didn't leave even after you left. It didn't leave. It didn't die down to maybe like 30 minutes later.
Did it?
Yes, sir.
Make sure I won't do that no more.
And also, I want to know if the certain names of the people, if they have the same name, does it mean it has the same meaning to that person?
Not necessarily.
Okay, and that, because Sister Lowe's middle name is Lula, and Sister Lowe's shared with me that it means little one. And I want to know if that's the same. Does that mean myself also?
Yes, ma'am. For real.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Well, is everybody's stomach growling? Oh, we got some more? Yes, sir. Brother Kareem? He'll get this one. Okay, yes.
Assalamualaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
I have two questions, if I may.
Yes, sir.
The first one is, when I'm driving down the street and I look out my rearview mirror, there's always headlights shining, and this is during the day. It can be from a van, it can be from a truck, it can be from a car, and it be various people who be driving the other car. But the headlights is always shining on the car behind me. And I was wondering, what was I seeing in that?
Well, I guess you was paying attention. You know, because it's something that's unusual. They have been making the cars to do that, I think, they started, last year?
Yes, sir.
For a safety reason. And it always seems to be that you are always caught that way. You look in the mirror, you see lights on. It could be a sign, you know, that you're in the light, or that you should get into the light. You know, it's like you're looking in the rearview mirror. It's like what you left is where the light is. You left it behind in your mind.
Yes, sir. The next question is in regard to the 7-point star. When I returned, there was a 7-point star, and I asked anybody can give me any information about it. One brother did share, but for the vast amount of members, no one could share with me any significance or meaning to the 7-point star. Could you share with me some of the information?
Yes, sir, I could.
Would you, Father?
Oh, yes, sir. Allah is independent, and He stands out alone by Himself. We're stepping into a situation now where everyone that is with me is beginning to stand out. You can be noticed by all other people. Like the sister said, everybody look the same. You know, we're standing out. We're separate, we're apart. And it's from knowledge. And it points to the star, that's all it means, the amount of knowledge that you operate in. So we're beginning with the new God's number, just starting with it. You know, we will do that until there's no need for a sign to represent anything. You know, it took time to make that, to be a sign. of what really is or should be. So what I just spoke about as far as Satan and the material and the negative and how we hold him, or you all hold him, that's knowledge that was not given to you and imparted under the 5-point or 6-point star. It came under this 7-point. So it's letting you know you are to expect a greater degree of justice than what you have been receiving. And the more justice you receive, it's got to be coming from a man or a person that has more knowledge that will enable that person or man to administer that justice. If you're sitting on the bench and you got a lawyer that don't know nothing, and you suddenly go to jail. But the more knowledge that he has of the case, everything about it, it's a good possibility you'll go free. And the judge can make the proper ruling. If you don't know, half the brothers in prison now that's black shouldn't be there. Because they was operating in a knowledge that was less than what it took to make themselves clear in what they did. That's why the 7-point. Shortly it's going to be 8. I'm going to take it up to 12, and then I'm going to stop having it, period.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks, Father.
Yes, sir. Is that it? Yes, sir. You can be next. All right?
Assalamu Father.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, sir. I know I came up here. I needed to come up here and thank you. Thank the rest of the brothers and the family for allowing me the opportunity to see that this is my family. This is where I need to be. And I want you to share something with me to assist me in my growth. Because I wanted to come up here. I'm a man that I wanted to come up here and share some knowledge that would increase, the spirit in the room. However, right now I'm having a difficult time sharing what I want to share, and I would like some input.
Well, yes, sir. You are with a body of knowledge now that will enable you to support your family. That's not even here. From here, you will be able to speak to them in such a way that they will know that you are actually telling the truth. And it will start them to change in such a way, soon you will have your own home. You can invite them, not to live with you, but to come and visit. And if they so will, to adopt what you have, then we can give them, they can either live with you, or we can get them a home of their own. That is fast coming for you. However, you got to stay with this, and you see this as being your family. You will be able to help your physical or extended family as far as relatives, like your brothers or sisters if you have it, or your cousins, or just those that is of your race. You see what I'm saying? Yes. You have somewhat of a head start on us in one sense, that there's always been somewhat of a purpose in your thinking. Although it may have been a little foolishness, but that just comes with you. You're a person that, you like to see things. And then if you see it, if it's right, you like to go and do it. Try it. Put your hands on it. That's very good for us. Because our people are not waking up fast enough. It's very good that you're here with us. Very good. It makes a tremendous statement. That's for you and us. So, what's going to happen for you out of this? You're going to be almost like a Jesus to your people.
Thank you, Father.
Yes, sir.
Love you.
Welcome, Father.
Walaikum salam. It's on.
My first question is, what my name means, and my name is Sister Khadijah.
Sister Khadijah?
Yes, sir.
Khadijah. What does that mean? Khadijah. sense, it means both of us. Or that, or another one, it would mean accomplishments of a female or a woman. You understand? You understand? You understand?
Yes, sir. And my second question is, like, whenever I want to ask you a question, like, my palms start sweating and I get nervous. And, like, right now, I'm nervous.
You want to know why?
Yes, sir.
Well, in your mind, and which it is real, you are speaking to a pure and clean and supreme power. And your entity knows this. And the body reflects it through the sweating of the glands in your hand. It's like something to remind you, be respectful. However, you're not going to be disrespectful anyhow. Once you get to know me, you know, and a lot of times if people come up and speak with me and it's a one-on-one and direct conversation, when I focus in on you, it's like, bam, like something hits you, boom. And it's like you really did. And I say, yes, and you're like, what was I thinking about? Because like the oral captivated you. Made you forget what you even want to ask me. Then you have to gather your thoughts back and you say, oh, this is what I want to say, Father. But you're still in it. And it's something that you're not used to, so it makes you a little nervous. I'm not going to hurt you.
Yes, sir.
Just to wipe it off.
Walaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam. I have that kind of power. Yes, sir. How you both second that?
I would like to know the meaning of my name. Yes, sir, Father. As I was watching the sister, I saw her make certain gestures that I see other sisters make, you know, with her hands. And I even find myself in watching yourself. I might make certain motions or what is it about us that causes us as a people to imitate others, like the good things we see in others or even bad things? What is that?
Well, I don't know if it's imitation as much as it is being relaxed and convenient. You know, if you talk about body language.
No, sir. It's like I know one person that I see like do their hands like this.
Right.
And then after a while, like I watch certain people motion, and then I see other people start doing the same thing, you know, like with their hand.
Oh, yeah.
And I know it's like when you sharing certain things, you might do like this.
Right.
And I see the brothers, I find myself doing, you know, like this. Yes, sir.
Well, usually what takes place with that, it's a comfortable way that you have found. You see someone else do it, it's like when you try it, it automatically comes out and it's comfortable to you. It's like you keep trying on a pair of shoes and it fits. So you wear it. You know, especially if it's better than the ones you got on. So that's what you do. However, when you're using sign languages or body languages like this, and you're speaking at the same time, these languages that you're using is coming from your subconscious. The other language that you're speaking is coming from the conscious. So that both are working together. So sister may have been, you know, like, you know, they're speaking to my subconscious. It's like you're really speaking, you know, and the tongue is too slow, so you add to it. That's why they do that.
Yes.
Usually it's coming from your subconscious. The other language that you're speaking is coming from the conscious. So that both are working together. So sister may have been, you know, like, you know, they're speaking to my subconscious. It's like you're really speaking, you know, and the tongue is too slow, so you add to it. That's why they do that.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I gotta say, you all are looking good. I don't know if heaven. I better move to heaven.
Assalamualaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
My question is that I find myself when something good takes place with myself that I don't believe that it's true.
Gregory. Yes, sir.
Oh, you want me to tell you why?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
What you've been practicing in from your nature hasn't been, you all love the truth. However, the reality of what you see is everything but true. So it's almost like, well, I've been used to seeing it, but never really experienced it, so I can't really believe that this is true. You know, aren't you the sister or the brother that's living in the sunset?
Yes, sir.
You've been touched by the same thing. It's just that it don't affect you the way it does him. That's why it's hard to believe sometimes that it is true. However, if you still look at it, you find it is. So that's the main thing. And just move on that. It's something that's in you all of Sister Leona's children that I know of. You know, even Brother Samuel with all the life and fire that he got. It's something that stops you all from actually doing it in a pure sense, where you can actually you receive this and don't have Satan do nothing with it. He's on the outside. You haven't been taught that. However, you're in heaven, you will learn it as time passes, or as you develop. If not, we're going to grow from you, and everybody will know you've reached your limit, and you won't be able to participate with us, nor us with you. Is that, if you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
As long as you feel good and you do recognize it, you got to be.
Yes,
Feel good about it. You say, well, I don't believe it's true, but it's true.
yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You know, a lot of us experience that. You know, you go someplace and you want something and you want it with such intensity, and the person that you ask him, they say, yes, if you just sign the line here, you got it. You sign so quick, or you think maybe they're going to say no. And you got it. And you almost dash off out of their sight so they can't say no. You know, a lot of us experience it. So with you, nothing bad has happened yet since you've been with me. And you're another person that has the ability to pick up on my work. You're married to a good man. If you weren't, you wouldn't want me for a husband. But then you would never believe it's true. Is that it? Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Father.
Walaikum salam.
My question is direct. Is it time for me to take over the school where I teach?
It's always time for you to take over if you know how. If you can change the course of the boat without causing any tidal wave, do it. In other words, if you're going to take over the school where you teach at, you're in a public school,
Yes, sir.
I don't see how you can do it. However, you can insert right in such a way where you don't get thrown out. But you have to be very skillful in how you do it. Because the schools are set up by Satan.
Yes, sir.
They make sure that God don't ease in and teach them. So you got to be very skillful. If you're skillful enough, it's time. If you're not time.
Yes, sir. May I share something?
Yes, sir.
I've been asked to take over certain positions, and one of them puts me in charge of all the male students in the whole building.
Well, this they see potential. They think they know that what you're doing. They think they see a real man based on the principles of what you have learned in school and from your parents. Not knowing what is making you attractive to them is a knowledge that they have not yet adopted. Don't really even want. They don't know that part. So once you go to start, they'll say, oh no, we didn't know that. However, if you take it over, they'll say, well, yes, I'll accept the position. However, I'm not going to bring about a change in a way where it's going to alarm them. If you're saying things, you have to let the male students, and you teach them, this is how you learn. You teach them how to learn. Don't teach them what to learn. You see what I'm saying? Then they will learn the truth. In fact, you ever come and say, the truth of this is so and so and so. You don't have to say it. This is how you learn. If you know how to do that, you will get them that way. Then they won't, everybody become like, your students are so disciplined. What are you? They're just so lovely. What are you teaching them? We need to have the other school teachers doing the same. You've got to know how to do it. If you don't, they're going to say, whoop, he has got to go. He's teaching the children the truth, and if they see it, they're going to see us. We're the devil. We don't want to be seen. That's what they do.
Yes, sir. Is it time for me to request for time in heaven?
It's up to you.
Yes, sir.
You know, in other words, this is volunteer. Since there is a choice between right and wrong, if you want to be with right, it's because you want to. I want you to. However, you must want it. If you say, well, yes, I want it, well, then come on. If you still want to wait, if you still want to practice in the school system, you want to try your hand at working with the males and the brothers there and whatnot, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. You know, come like you come in now, learn. You know, maybe learn how to do that. Maybe you can teach other people how to, you know, deal with the community and still be a part of this. It's all up to you. It's not what I want, it's what you want. What I want is perfection. And I'm setting up many ways to achieve what I want. However, if you're in agreement with me, you're a fraction of what I want. So you perform in the fraction that you are comfortable in. That's the way you do it.
Yes, sir.
So if you're ready mentally, and you're ready physically, and you're ready to do battle with Satan, because just by you thinking right and being in the school, Satan knows that you're thinking right, and he's going to start some mess to try to get you out. So you got to know it's Satan, so you got to know how to talk to him. And that takes some skill. Because it ain't Satan coming with one person. Even your students is Satan.
Yes, sir.
So you really got to know how to do it.
Thank you, sir.
It's up to you. Whichever way you want to go, I'm still alive waiting on you. I'm still backing you up. If you're in the school system, you with us, I'm still backing you up. You want to be successful. If that's what you want, it's success. To be able to teach the male students to be over there, whether if you really want it for the right reason, I'll make you successful. Yes. If you want to give that up and come and be full time with the nation, whatnot, that's what you want, I'll make you successful. I'll make you the baddest man in the West.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Listen. Walaikum salam.
Would you share with me what attribute I represent?
What attribute?
Yes, sir.
Attribute. Quiet support. Base. Groundwork. You know what I'm saying? Stability.
Yes, sir.
That's an attribute. That's not a tribe, that's an attribute. Support. You are not that, but you support that. You are not it, but you're holding it up. You are not the righteous man, but you're the right man.
Yes, sir.
You understand it?
Yes, sir.
You do?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, Kenneth.
Sound like a father.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, sir. Well, she up every day, but the dream I had, how I had to finish it. I'll make it real quick. It was about it was like a stage
and he was sitting on the stage, and I was sitting in a chair, and you was rubbing my face with both your hands, fingers like this around my ear. Then you had kissed me on my face, and you said, "Would it be was Brother Kenneth doing so and so?" And I looked at everybody. You shared with Brother Kenneth doing his duty, and everybody said, "Yes, sir." And I was sitting with you, so I don't know what it means now. What does it mean when you kiss me on my face, or when you was rubbing my ears, or what does it represent?
It meant that I sent you what you asked for.
Yes, sir, thank you.
You know what that is?
Yes, sir, I think so.
What is it?
Hawaii?
Yes, sir.
Sir, thank you, Father.
Yes, sir. Don't take that lightly. You know, if I sent it to you, ask what I sent it to you. So, you know, rubbing up the temples in that fashion relaxes you. And if she learns how to sing, she will take you off into the universe. And the kisses that show you that there's a love from God. So when you go out there, she can go with you. When she go out in space like you do, when you go out, you can take her with you. I'm not saying now, while you going out into the space that it's wrong. That's you. I look for that to take place. So when I go out there, I say, oh, that's Kenneth. Hey, well, you got somebody that can go with you. All right? Yes, sir. Sister?
Father. Yes, sir, Father. I'd like to know, will you show me the meaning of my name? It's Taisha.
I guess it's a private meeting, right? Taisha?
Yes, sir.
It means tied to or close to. You know, it's the same thing as like a Korean. It means whatever you are, you're tied to it, you're close to it. If it's a person or place or thing, that's what it means.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Are you married now?
Yes, sir.
I asked you that last time, didn't I?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is you tied to your husband?
Yes, sir.
He ain't gonna let you go, huh?
No, sir.
Okay. Be happy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You only asked me by name. Sister Jamal's daughter? Can't think your name on here.
Yes, sir. My name is Sister Yushika.
There you go.
Yes, sir. I have two questions, if I may.
Yes, ma'am.
The first question is about moles. I've been noticing that I've been getting new moles on my skin. New moles on my skin. I would like to know. I had conversations with some brothers and sisters on that, and I would like to have enlightenment on moles.
Moles usually are something that comes from your pigment of your skin. And it usually comes from you holding knowledge, not using it, or having it like stored up. It's a sign or represents that you're a person of deep knowledge or wealth of knowledge. Didn't you?
I haven't, yes, sir.
Okay. You got another question?
Yes, sir. My second question.
Hold the mic up.
Yes, sir. My second question is, I would like to know, what is my place with the royal family?
With the royal family?
Yes, sir.
Just be yourself. That's with all of you all. If you be yourself, whenever we need somebody to be a friend that's close to us that we want to see daily or on a daily basis and whatnot, it'd be easy for us to accept whoever is actually capable of being themselves. Don't ever be phony. So if you want to be with the royal family in that kind of way, be yourself. You know, I understand that you cook very well. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Well, I wouldn't want to see you be with the Royal family just from the standpoint of cooking. That's good. We love to eat good food, or food is prepared well. However, we'd much rather see you be flexible enough to be woman enough to do what you do, have fear noted, and know that you know that you know. This is you do it. You can be with us. However, if you come with us and be with us, around us, and you be in such a way where you always feel like you are less than us, you are subservient. We don't want you around us because it makes us feel like we're putting a burden on you, or the possibility is always there. They're going to ask you to do something, or want you to do something that you really are incapable of doing. So it puts a burden on it. However, if you're free, not disrespectful, but free around us, we can never put enough on you that you won't do, because you're going to tell us, I can't do that. Well, I got to do it. Well, I can't do it. I'll get somebody. That way we can never put some on you. That's all that's required.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Sister Julie, I get you.
Legal Father.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, sir. I have within myself, I always feel like I'm not doing enough. Right now I teach the pre-kindergarten at the university, and then I leave and have duty at the bakery. It's like I love doing both of them. It's like I miss not teaching full time. However, I don't want to give up the bakery either. However, even when I complete duty at the bakery, it's like I still want to do something.
Well, what has happened with you? You miss being a child that was taught in your childhood. Regardless of what you do, you always feel like you're not doing enough for what you should be doing, because you miss something. You miss the little fine things that your mother could have or should have taught you. It don't make no difference how much you do physically, you still gonna feel like you're not doing enough. It's because you miss the little things that you were supposed to be taught during a certain age, that you were supposed to learn. You weren't taught it. So now you're doing things, and the things never fill that vacancy of knowledge that you missed. It wasn't your fault. However, you're in the United Nation of Islam with Allah Himself now. So what have you missed? We're going to give that back to you and more. All right? Yes. Walaikum salam.
Yes, sir. I would like to know what my son's name means. His name is Trey John.
Trey Jones?
Trey John.
Trey John?
Yes, sir. It was J-A-N, not J-O-H-N.
This is what J what?
J-A-N.
J-A-N? It means little announcer. You know, he gonna be a talker. But it's not gonna be ever really important.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be important enough for you to hear, but it's not gonna be that, like, yes, you should really listen to that.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You all like this? Now, after you leave, do you forget it? You sure? But I don't. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'd like to know, how does one speak clearly to others without being afraid of what you're saying?
You don't mean in the pronunciation or the enunciation. You're talking about just clearly in intent.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you mean?
Yes, sir.
How does one do that?
Yes, sir.
Have no fear. If they have a problem with what you're saying, and you justify them telling them, that's their problem. You you let it be known. You don't have to be in a disrespectful manner. If you want to be clear with someone, you want to make sure that they don't take an offense or have an attitude of what you're saying. However, you see it's something that they must know. Just come right and tell them. You don't have no expression of guilt on them or directing any judgment. You just speak what should be known. That's it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Did I answer your question? Yes. You sure? Yes. All right. Is that it? Okay. Well, I may be here until Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know. The messenger, the king and I, we have some things to do. You know, sometimes I miss him. I don't know if he misses me or not, but I come and check to see if he does. This should be, and it must be, and it is a wonderful time. And it's not going to get any less than this. It is to get better. You know, I would like to see very much so Brother Abbas really take a ear to this particular session, and take also Wayman and really get into it so that they will see it, being our parents, being our friends, being ones that's in the government, being people that's in the position of influence, people that already have power, what and how the power is to be used. If that is seen, and we can do that. Brother Abbas is a very lovable person, although you all may not see that. What he is, if you really if you want to see it, if you want to see how lovable he is, all you got to do is look at his son Hadi. You know, it's just that Hadi hasn't acquired the habits of his father. However, that is his father. I mean, Hadi is just like his father. If Brother Abbas can get back to being that way, then the world will be put at his feet. You know, and Brother Wayman, the world won't be placed there because that's not what he wants. He don't have the power to handle that. However, we'll be awful glad, or I'm going to say awful, we'll be mighty happy that he's here with us if he would actually look into what we said today. I just said those two. You know, it's not that it doesn't apply to the rest of y'all. It does the same thing. It's just that I call those two because I'm dealing with them more so than anyone else, other than the mother and the family. You know, Sister Lyota, the sister is a wizard in making sure that we get things for the nation to work with. So I appreciate that. The rest of you all, continue to grow. Be happy, and don't see nothing you do as a job, because you don't have no job. You have a duty. And if you do it right, believe me, it's going to be attractive. And you will be able to move out of the spot that you're in, because somebody will be there to fill it. And you can go to the next spot. And you can keep on doing that until you go to your planet, then your son's planet, then to your universe, and to your son's universe. And in the space, well, why not let's just try to fill it up? Okay? Well, like I say, I may be able to speak to you. I don't know, you have an FYI tomorrow night, right? According to who's coming on Monday Night Raw, I might come right to speak with you. I really don't have no habits. I look at wrestling because it's comical. And I see, it is. And if you know how to look at things, you see this good against evil. To them it's a game. And they have mastered how to pretend fight. Pretend. They mastered it. However, they have mastered working with people's emotions to make you give their money up. So I sit there and watch them. I look at the people, and every arena they go into look like it's sold out. And then they got millions getting on paid per view. Then they got the 900 numbers calling in. They say the same old dumb stuff all the time. People steady going for it. So I look at it as pastime while I'm waiting for y'all to get it together. It's not really other than me just being in your presence, giving you some of my aura. I've given you quite a bit of my mind and my thinking. If you would adopt it, you would also adopt the same aura. It wouldn't that you'd be receiving it from me, you'd be giving it. Because what produces my aura is what I think, how I think it. And if I give that process to you, if you use it, you will produce what I am. It will be increased. That's all you have to do. I'm very proud. I'm proud of you all. I really am. You know, I'm not saying that we are there yet, but we're so close and the road is so clear. And I've looked up the line. There's no obstacles that's going to be there by the time we get there. There's been some place there. However, just the force that we are moving with before we as a people or an object gets to that what's blocking us, the force that we're pushing in front of us is going to move it out of the way. You see what I'm saying? It'll be much like you're trying to kill a fly with your hand. It's difficult to do that with your hand. If you can hit it like that, you can't kill it. Because the force you're coming down with is going to push the fly out of the way. And you can't kill it. So you think he got out of the way, but you pushed him out of the way. You got to open your fingers up. That's why the white man, he make a fly swatter, he put holes in it. So when you come down, the force is allowed to escape, and it don't push the fly out of the way so it can kill it. You see? So that's the same thing what we doing. The road is clear. Stick with me. Assalamu alaikum.